Welcome to Monday English Podcast. I'm so glad you're here. Today's episode is called It's Okay to Feel Tired. We're going to talk honestly, gently, and clearly about something many of us feel but often don't understand. Maybe lately you felt tired too. Not just sleepy, but tired in your body, in your mind, or in your heart. And maybe like many people you've wondered, why do I feel this way? Am I doing something wrong? Let's slow down together. This is not a lesson to push you. This is a space to pause and breathe. In today's episode, we'll explore different kinds of tiredness, why tired does not mean lazy or broken, and what real rest actually looks like. We'll also talk about how to build a rhythm that feels soft, not strict, something you can keep even on your slower days. Tiredness is not something to fix. It's something to understand. You are not weak for feeling tired. You are human, and your feelings matter. So, let's begin. Softly and without judgment. Let's step into part 1 together. Have you ever said, I slept enough, but I still feel tired? You are not alone. Many people feel the same way, and they don't understand why. They blame themselves. They think, I must be lazy, or I didn't do much, so why am I tired? But tiredness doesn't always come from running, working, or doing physical things. Sometimes it comes from something deeper, something we don't see, but still feel every day. Let's start by looking at what tiredness really is. There are many kinds. Sometimes you feel tired in your body. After a long day of work, cleaning the house, or walking around town, your body needs rest. That kind of tiredness is easy to notice. You lie down, you sleep, and usually you feel better. But there's another kind. Your brain can feel tired too. Think about days when you make many decisions, read lots of messages, or look at your phone or computer all day. Even if your body is sitting still, your mind is working very hard. It's trying to understand things, make choices, and stay focused. That kind of mental tiredness is just as real, even if no one else can see it. There's also something many people don't talk about. Heart tiredness. That's when your feelings are tired. Maybe you've had a difficult time with family or friends. Maybe someone hurt your heart, or you feel like you've lost something important. This kind of tiredness doesn't go away with just sleep. It's heavy. It makes even small tasks feel hard. You may feel like crying or just sitting in silence. And sometimes people say, cheer up, or just move on. But it's not always that easy. Emotional tiredness is deep, and it deserves care. Some people also feel tired because they are always around others. This is called social tiredness. Let's say you work in a shop, a school, or an office. You have to talk all day, smile, be polite, and think about what other people need. That takes a lot of energy, especially if you're also dealing with your own problems. You may go home and feel empty, not because you did something wrong, but because your energy is low. Even replying to messages or answering a phone call can feel like too much. That's not you being lazy. That's you being human. The problem is, we often use the wrong words. We say, I'm lazy, when we're actually exhausted. We say, I'm weak, when we're just overwhelmed. We push ourselves to keep going, even when our body and mind are asking us to stop. This is a common mistake, and it leads to guilt. Guilt is the heavy feeling that tells you, I should be doing more. But in truth, maybe you've done enough. Maybe what you need right now is not pressure, but permission to pause. Let me share a quick story. There was a student named Emily. She was learning English every night after work. She had a plan, 30 minutes of study every single day. At first, she was doing great, but after a few weeks, she started skipping days. She felt bad. She thought, I'm lazy. I'm not serious. But in reality, Emily was working 2 jobs. She was helping her family, and her tiredness was not from a lack of effort, but from a full life. When we talked, she said, I thought being tired meant I wasn't trying hard enough. But no, being tired meant she had been trying for too long without rest. When we learn a language or do anything new, we need energy. But energy doesn't come from stress or guilt. It comes from rest, care, and gentle understanding. That's why noticing what kind of tiredness you feel is a good first step. Ask yourself, is my body tired? My mind? My emotions? Did I talk to too many people today? Did I feel sad or carry something heavy inside? This small reflection can change how you treat yourself. You are not a robot. You are not a machine. You don't need to be on all the time. Sometimes the most important thing you can do for your growth is to stop, breathe, and listen to what your body and heart are telling you. And if today is a day when you feel slower or less focused, it doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're human and you're still learning, just in a quieter way. If you've been feeling tired lately, I want you to know you don't need to fix yourself. You need to be kind to yourself. Take a deep breath. Put your hand on your chest. Say this quietly. I am tired, and that's okay. I am still growing. And if that feels hard to say it again, slowly. Learning English or any new skill takes time and energy. So does living. And your tiredness is not a sign to give up. It's a sign to rest. Sometimes what we need is not more motivation, but more mercy. Be gentle with yourself today. Let your tiredness be a message, not a punishment. You are still on your journey. You are not falling behind. You're just walking through a slower part of the path. And that's okay. Don't rush. You're doing just fine. Before we move on, I invite you to do a small, simple task. Take a notebook or open a note on your phone. Write down 3 things that might be making you tired this week. It could be work. It could be too much thinking. It could be something small but heavy. Don't judge. Just notice. That's your first step to understanding your energy. And when you're ready, we'll take the next step together. In the next segment, we'll talk about a big idea. Why tired doesn't mean you're failing. Have you ever had a day when your body feels fine, but your mind can't focus? You sit down to do something simple. Read a book, send an email, study English, but your brain just says no. You try again. Still nothing. And then that little voice inside whispers, "You're falling behind." It's a voice many of us know well. It tells us we are slow, lazy, or not trying hard enough. It makes us feel like being tired is a problem we must fix. But here's the truth. Being tired doesn't mean you're failing. It simply means you are human and your energy, like everyone's, changes. Some people believe that energy should always stay the same. Every day should be full of power, clear thinking, and perfect focus. But that's not how life works. Even nature has slow seasons. In winter, trees stop growing, the flowers sleep, the air becomes still. Nothing is broken. It's just a time for rest. You are the same. You are not a machine. You don't need to be full of energy every day to be a good learner, a good worker, or a good person. Some days are fast, some days are slow, and both are okay. But we often forget this. We see other people doing more than we are. They post about their success online. They show pictures of their projects, their perfect habits, their always busy life, and we start to compare. We think, look at them. They're moving forward, and I'm stuck. But what you see online is not the full story. You see the final photo, not the messy middle. You don't see the tired eyes behind the smile or the 10 mistakes before that one win. You only see the part they choose to show. So please, stop comparing your tired day to someone's highlight moment. And still, even if you stop comparing, another idea often sneaks in, that rest is something you must earn, that you must finish your work, reach your goal, check everything off your list, then you can rest. But what if that's not true? What if rest is not a prize for being productive, but a part of the process itself? Think about a musician. They don't play every second, The pauses between notes are what make the music clear and beautiful. In the same way, rest helps your mind understand, remember, and grow. This is especially true when you are learning. If you study English for hours without rest, you may remember less. But if you take short breaks, sleep enough, and give your brain time to breathe, you will learn more in the long run. Your brain needs quiet to store new words and understand new ideas. It does important work even when you're not aware. So resting is not doing nothing. It's giving your brain the space it needs to process. Let me share a story. A learner named Marcus was studying for an English test. He made a plan, 2 hours every day. For the first few days, he followed it. But then, one evening, he sat down and could not focus. His eyes read the words, but his brain was somewhere else. He felt guilty and thought, I'm wasting time. So he forced himself to keep going. But the next day, he remembered almost nothing. After talking with his teacher, he changed his plan. He studied less, but with more rest. He took walks, listened to calm music, and even took short naps. In the end, he passed the test. Not because he studied more, but because he studied smarter. And smarter often means slower. The real lesson here is this: progress is not always about pushing harder. Sometimes it's about knowing when to pause. You are not weak for needing rest. You are wise for choosing it. And when you listen to your energy and give yourself space to recharge, you build a stronger, more stable path forward. Still, I know it's hard to believe this when you feel behind. Maybe you missed a few days of practice. Maybe you forgot new words you learned last week. That's okay. Falling behind doesn't mean failing. Learning is not a straight road. It goes up, down, and sometimes in circles. What matters is that you keep going, even if it's slow, even if it's just 5 minutes today. And here's one more important thing. Being tired is not your fault. We live in a world that moves fast, that expects more, that sometimes forgets we need rest, not just results. So it's normal to feel pressure, but you don't have to carry it alone. You can choose a different way, a kinder way. One where rest is part of your plan, not a break from it. So today, I want to ask you to try something simple. Look at your to-do list or think about your plans. Find one thing, just one, that you can remove. Maybe it's something small. Maybe it's something that can wait. Let it go. Give yourself that space. Not because you're lazy, but because you deserve to breathe. You are still learning, even when you rest. Your value is not measured by how much you do in one day. It's measured by how gently you return to yourself when things feel hard. That's what builds real progress. In the next part of our episode, we'll talk about what real rest looks like. Not just sleep or watching TV, but deep rest that gives your mind and heart new strength. For now, give yourself a quiet moment and remember this. You don't need to do more to be enough. You already are. Have you ever had a day when you stayed in bed, watched movies, or scrolled your phone for hours and still felt tired? You didn't work, you didn't study, you didn't go anywhere. But somehow, your body and mind still felt heavy. This is a common feeling, and it leads to a big question. What does real rest look like? Sometimes, what we think is rest is not helping us feel better. It's just a way to pass the time or avoid pressure. It can distract us for a while, but it doesn't refresh us. And when the day ends, we're still tired. So let's take a deeper look at rest, what it really means, and how it can help us heal, focus, and grow. Real rest is not just stopping work. It's giving your body, your mind, and your heart the kind of care they truly need. Let's begin with your body. Physical rest is the one most people know. It means sleep. It means slowing down your movements. Maybe it's lying down with your eyes closed. Maybe it's stretching in the morning or taking a quiet walk. Sometimes it's stillness, just sitting without rushing. This kind of rest helps your muscles recover and your energy come back. But it's not always enough. Mental rest is different. It's about calming your thoughts. Often we finish work, but our brain keeps running. We think about what we didn't do. We remember messages we need to answer or problems we need to solve. Even during a break, our mind is still busy. Mental rest means creating quiet. It could be writing in a journal. It could be turning off your phone. It could be sitting in silence or listening to music without lyrics. These small pauses let your mind breathe. They create space between one thought and the next. And then there's emotional rest. This is one we often forget. Emotional rest means giving your heart space to feel and release what's inside. It's what we need when we've been holding in sadness, fear, or stress for too long. Sometimes emotional rest means talking to someone you trust. Sometimes it means crying. Sometimes it means saying no without feeling guilty. When we carry too many emotions, we get tired, even if we don't understand why. Giving yourself permission to feel and not fix everything is a powerful kind of rest. There's a reason why these kinds of rest matter for English learners too. Your brain works hard when it's learning a new language. It's taking in new words, new grammar, new sounds. You're trying to understand and remember everything. But the truth is, learning needs space. If your brain is too full, too tired, or too stressed, it cannot hold new information well. Rest helps your brain organize. During sleep, for example, your brain moves short-term memory into long-term memory. It decides what to keep. That's why students often remember better after a nap than after more study. If you want to learn deeply, you also need to rest deeply. Let's look at one example. A student named Lila was trying to prepare for an English-speaking test. She studied every night after work, but her scores weren't improving. She felt frustrated. One day, her teacher asked how she was sleeping. Lila said she often stayed up late, watching videos, feeling guilty about not doing more. Her teacher gave her a new plan. Stop studying after 8 p.m., turn off all screens, and spend 20 minutes journaling in English or just sitting with quiet music. After 1 week, Lila felt more calm. After 2 weeks, her speaking improved. Why? Because her brain finally had time to rest and reflect. It's easy to think more effort always means more results. But in learning and in life, balance is better. If you give your brain no time to pause, it cannot store what it's learning. If you give your heart no time to feel, it cannot stay strong. If you give your body no time to recover, it will stop you with sickness or pain. So rest is not weak, it's wise. And the best kind of rest is mindful. That word mindful means doing something with attention. Not just automatic action, but being present. Mindful rest can be very simple. A 5-minute stretch where you focus on your breath, a short walk where you notice trees, sky, or the sound of your steps, a quiet meal with no phone where you taste every bite. These moments can restore you in ways hours of distraction cannot. Because distraction only hides your tiredness. It does not heal it. Rest gives your whole self a chance to feel safe again. But still, I know how hard it is. The world moves fast. Sometimes we feel we don't have time to rest, or we feel guilty for slowing down. But please remember, real progress includes rest. Athletes take rest days to grow stronger. Musicians take pauses to shape the music. You are no different. You are not falling behind if you take a moment to breathe. You are getting ready to move forward with more strength. And yes, there will be days when rest feels impossible. Maybe you're caring for others. Maybe you're working late. Maybe your thoughts are too loud. That's okay. Rest doesn't need to be perfect. Even 10 minutes can help. Even closing your eyes for 1 minute and saying, "I'm allowed to pause," is a good start. Real rest is not a long vacation. It's a short, honest break. It's the space between your tasks. It's the silence between your thoughts. So here's something small you can try today. Choose one kind of real rest, just one. It could be 5 minutes of breathing. It could be a walk without your phone. It could be writing one page in a notebook before bed. Don't choose something big or hard. Choose something kind. Do it not because you earned it, but because you need it. And then notice how your body, your brain, or your heart responds. We've talked a lot about rest today, but rest is only one part of the journey. Next, we'll look at how to build a rhythm, a soft, flexible routine that includes both learning and resting, a rhythm that doesn't break when you're tired, but moves with you. For now, take a breath and remind yourself, you don't need to feel tired all the time to grow. You deserve moments of peace too. Let's move into the next part together. Have you ever tried to build a new habit like studying English every morning and felt excited at first, but then missed a day and another day and suddenly felt like you failed? If you have, you're not alone. Many learners experience the same thing. We start with big goals, strong plans, and good intentions. But then life gets busy. Our energy drops. We get tired or sick or distracted. And that's when we hear a hard voice in our mind. You can't do it. You're not consistent. You always stop. But that voice is not the truth. It's just fear, not failure. Building a healthy rhythm for learning and for life is not about being perfect. It's about creating something gentle and real, something that works with your energy, not against it. Let's begin with one simple truth. Small steps are stronger than big goals. Many people believe that studying English for 2 hours once a week is better than 10 minutes every day. But the opposite is true. When you study in short, regular sessions, your brain learns better. You create a habit, and your mind becomes more comfortable with the language. 10 minutes every day adds up to over an hour a week. More importantly, it teaches your brain that English is part of your life, not something big, scary, or special, just something you do, like brushing your teeth or drinking water. This is where the idea of a gentle rhythm comes in. A rhythm is not a strict schedule. It's a soft pattern, like waves in the ocean or the way we breathe. Some days are strong and full. Others are quiet and slow, and both are needed. A gentle rhythm means paying attention to how you feel each day. If you're full of energy, use that time to focus. But if you're tired, choose something light. Read one short text. Listen to 5 minutes of English. Don't force yourself to follow a perfect plan. Instead, follow your real energy. You'll go farther that way. Many people think they should always try harder. But being hard on yourself doesn't help. In fact, it often makes things worse. When we push too much, we break. And when we fail once, we feel ashamed and stop trying at all. That's why kind reminders are better than harsh motivation. Imagine you're learning with a friend. Would you yell at them for missing one day? Or would you say, "That's okay, let's try again tomorrow"? You would choose the second, of course. So speak to yourself the same way. Be your own friend. Gentle words don't mean weak effort. They mean smart, long-term learning. Let me tell you about Daniel. He wanted to improve his English speaking, so he promised to practice 30 minutes a day. For 1 week, he did great. Then he got sick. He missed 3 days. After that, he felt like a failure. He stopped completely. Later, he realized something important. His plan was too strict. So he changed it. He gave himself 2 types of days, active days and rest days. On active days, he practiced speaking. On rest days, he listened to a podcast or just read subtitles while watching a movie. This new rhythm helped him stay relaxed but consistent. After a month, he was speaking more naturally and feeling proud, not pressured. Your rhythm doesn't have to look like Daniel's. It can be as unique as your own life. Maybe mornings are your quiet time, or maybe you learn better at night. Maybe you prefer listening while walking, or reading while waiting for the bus. There is no single right way to learn. The right way is the one that works for you. The key is to build habits that you enjoy and that you can repeat, even when life is hard. Because there will be hard days. That's normal. A good rhythm includes space for those days too. Think of it like music. If every note were loud and fast, the song would be tiring. Music needs both sound and silence. The space between the beats is what gives the song its feeling. Your learning rhythm should be the same. It should include both effort and pause. Maybe Monday is a day to study. Tuesday is a day to rest. Wednesday is for review. Thursday is a walk with English audio. And Friday, just a moment to breathe and reflect. This soft balance is what keeps you going, not for 1 week, but for years. Some learners worry that rest will slow them down, but the opposite is true. When you include rest, you recover faster. You remember more. You stay motivated and you avoid burnout, a kind of deep tiredness that makes everything feel too hard. Burnout happens when we push without pause. A gentle rhythm protects you from that. It gives your mind and body time to reset so you can come back stronger. And here's something very important. Your rhythm is not a competition. You don't need to go faster than anyone else. You don't need to copy someone else's routine. You just need to stay with your own journey. Even when it feels slow, even when you take breaks, you're still moving forward. Don't forget that. Every small effort counts, and every quiet pause helps you continue. If you're feeling unsure right now, if your rhythm feels broken or unclear, start simple. Choose 2 days this week. 1 day will be for learning. You can study a little or listen to something in English. The other day will be for full rest. No goals, no pressure, just care. Try it once, then see how you feel. From there, you can build slowly, step by step, beat by beat. Your learning journey doesn't need to be loud or fast. It just needs to be steady and kind. You are not here to impress anyone. You are here to grow, and growth happens in both action and stillness. So keep going, even if it's slow, even if it's quiet. Your rhythm is your own, and that's more than enough. In the next part of our episode, we'll take a gentle pause together. We've talked about many ideas. Now we'll take a breath, reflect, and reset before moving to the final part. But first, choose your 2 days, your learning day and your rest day, and mark them in your mind. Let's take that soft first step forward together. Let's pause for a moment. No advice, no pressure, just a breath. You've been listening. You've been thinking. Maybe some of today's words feel true for you. Maybe you've said to yourself, "That's me." Or maybe you're still unsure. That's okay. You're allowed to take time to understand your own tiredness. You're allowed to say, "I don't have all the answers yet." You don't need to fix everything right now. This podcast is not here to solve your life. It's here to remind you that your life and your effort already matter. Sometimes we push through the days without stopping to ask, how am I doing really? So let me ask you now, not as a teacher, but as a person. How are you really? What's been heavy on your heart? What thoughts have been running through your mind late at night? What part of you feels worn out, even if no one else can see it? You don't need to answer right away. Just hold the question. Let it sit with you for a while. There's no grade, no test. There's only this moment, yours. Sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is listen to ourselves with no judgment. Not to criticize, just to notice. Maybe today that's all you need. Not a new rule, not a perfect plan, just a quiet space to feel what's real. You've come this far, through today's words, through your own quiet struggles, and you're still here. That says something strong about you. It's easy to move fast and ignore what's underneath, but you didn't. You slowed down, you listened. That's strength too, the kind that doesn't shout, but stays. So before we continue, take one deep breath, let it go slowly, and gently remind yourself you are not behind. You are simply here. And that is enough. When you're ready, we'll step into the final part, your next quiet move forward. We've reached the end of today's episode, and I want to thank you for staying with me. If there's one message I hope you remember, it's this. Feeling tired is not something to feel bad about. It doesn't mean you failed. It doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're human, and that your body, mind, or heart is asking for care. Today, we talked about different kinds of tiredness, from physical to emotional. We looked at why rest is not something you need to earn. It's part of your growth, not the opposite of it. We also explored how to give yourself real rest, not just escape. And finally, we shared how to build a soft rhythm, one that includes both effort and pause, so you can keep moving forward without burning out. You've done something powerful today. You've taken time to learn, reflect, and be honest with yourself. That's not always easy, especially on hard days. So let me say it clearly. You're doing better than you think. You are still learning, you are still growing, and your tired days are still part of your progress. If you remember nothing else from this episode, remember this. Rest is not falling behind. It's how you keep going. Before you move on with your day, here's a small action you can take. Write down one kind of rest that your body or mind needs most right now. Then, give yourself permission to take it, without guilt, without delay. It can be 5 minutes or 15. What matters is that it's yours. If this episode helped you, I invite you to subscribe to Monday English Podcast so you don't miss what's next. Share it with a friend who might also need a gentle reminder. And when you're ready for another honest, helpful conversation, you know where to find us. We'll be here. Until then, take care of yourself and keep learning at your own kind pace.